Exactly.
We're going to move West Coast, Pac-12.
Whew.
Rough week for the Pac-12. I mean, my goodness.
R.I.P.
Oregon goes down. UCLA goes down. Has the Pac-12 cannibalized itself? There's no way that a Pac-12 team gets into the college football playoff at this point. It would be USC or bust, I think. But
yes,
I think there's too much damage at this point. I think even if USC runs the table, I don't think anyone takes them seriously. Max, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do if they come out with that unscathed with the Pac-12 championship in tow from Vegas. I think that is your only hope because they were ranked so high in the preseason. And if they come through and it's just one loss, then you're good. Now, it really severely hurt it. You know, if you're George Kliavkoff, you woke up Saturday morning feeling good, right? And you were like, man, I got three in the oven. I got three.
Follow the kitchen metaphor.
Yeah, exactly. Stay with the kitchen metaphor. I had three in the oven. And then by the end of the night, by the time that Pac-12 after dark game ended, he's sitting there, man, I just got pound cake. I had this 3-tier cake. I had this red velvet. It was looking good. All gone. I'm dealing with the pound cake that is USC. And you have to now make that pound cake last. And it's going to be tough because you're going to see a UCLA team. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Or no, this weekend. This weekend you're going to see them. And it's in their spot.
Yep.
You got embarrassed a year ago because I was at that game. That's what Hens would left the door open for Lincoln Riley to come in. They're going to be pissed off about the way that they played against U of A.
Yeah.
Jed Fish, another one. Get 2 taps up top for Jed Fish and company. I mean, doing the job in U of A. Bear down. Right. And they're going to be pissed off. And guess what? Guess who does not want to see USC in a Pac-12 championship? It's UCLA.
Yeah.
And they don't want. So they're going to do everything in their power not to allow USC to get there. And I think they do cannibalize themselves and kick themselves out of it because that's a lot of pressure for a USC team that's a little bit shaky. Now, I know that Utah defense pretty darn good, but at the end of the day, USC is going to have to overcome a lot if they want to have it, but it has to be with that championship in hand, and it has to be with only one loss. 2 losses, they're out of it.
USC. If USC is 1 loss, they're in.
Yeah,
they're in. It's let's not forget that this is a television show, and you know what you have to do. You got to get the whole country involved. USC in gets everybody involved. You get some players out on the West Coast, you're having a good time. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've been to Vegas and I've been to LA. And if you can get LA and Vegas involved, now you're going to have some fun.
Not wrong.
I'm not wrong, am I?
That's not wrong. There's a lot of gentlemen watching the show out there nodding their heads like, yeah, Felder.
And if it's Field of 68, you know that they're there every March for March Madness, baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
Bachelor parties galore that week.
Yeah. But so the thing for me is you're talking about USC, UCLA. I'm looking at Oregon and Utah. Oregon and Utah is that, like, for me, ooh, buddy, that's the game.
Yeah.
Because that's the game. What is that? That's this. Today's what, the 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
14th.
This weekend.
14th.
Yep.
14th. So that's this weekend.
Yep.
That's the game. Because you look at those standings and Oregon and Utah are the team that nobody wants to play. Washington, they got out and they did it. And that was amazing. And by the way, Max, did you see what they did with quads?
No, I missed it because I was watching.
Let me show you something. I don't mean to derail.
No, take it.
So we're used to seeing quads look like this, right?
Yeah.
So they did this. So they had bunch quads with a running back. This is a running back outside.
Oh, did he motion out of the backfield or line up pre-snap?
He lined up pre-snap.
Oof.
And so they were playing cover one. The linebacker had to go all the way outside with him.
Oh,
and then it was corner, money, safety, cover one. And everyone's like, what are we supposed? I don't know what we're supposed to do. They're like, literally, Oregon was like, I don't look like, what are we supposed to do?
Well, I think, and that's the beauty, right? When you get something so wild, like that, like who would have thought we're going to put a receiver position outside of a bunch that's now playing? You got
a running back outside a bunch.
Yeah, and so essentially you got a triple slot.
Yeah,
that's congealed to get like that's just.
It was nuts.
I love the gamesmanship. That's tremendous right there.
I love it. And it just stood out to me. And the guy dropped the ball. I think it was Sam Adams' kid dropped the ball. But that play, you know as well as I do, going forward, if you're playing Washington, you got to spend practice time on this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's always about those one wrinkles. And coaches love focusing in on the wrinkle.
Yeah.
I saw this 5 weeks ago, but I think they might bring it up against us. What?
We need to coach. No, we have to die. Like going through walkthrough and being like, we got to figure out and adjust to this.
Exactly. We got quad bunch running back. Give me it now. Run it back again. No, you were out of position.
Yes.
And you've diverse. I mean, but that's the beauty of it, right? Now that you have that, but I'm right on with you. Oregon and Utah, Washington. I'm sorry, or you said Utah and Oregon are two teams you don't want to see.
Yes,
because those teams they bring out the bully, especially Utah. Utah brings out the bully stick.
Yes, they're tough.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to be cute. We're not going to do this. We're coming right down your face.
Yep.
And that's how we're going to play football. And I don't know if USC could stand up to that. You know,
they already didn't.
Well, I mean, the one time, but I'm saying if you had to see them in the Pac-12 championship game,
sure,
right? Because that's what you're fighting for right now. Since UCLA lost, now that second seed is wide open.
Yeah.
Do you really want to see Utah again?
No.
Or do you want to see a pissed off Oregon team in there? That I mean, either one of them, and you haven't seen Oregon, but you see they rattled off after a loss 7 straight victories. So they were obviously doing something right against the rest of the Pac-12 competition. And now, and USC will see a UCLA team. And if that UCLA team beats them, guess what? UCLA is back in the hunt. So that's the chaos that the Pac-12 is spinning in the blender right now.
And by the way, if something crazy happens, Washington might be in there.
Exactly. They're like the Tennessee right now. They're just sitting on the outside looking in like, please continue. Here, in fact, who wants brass knuckles? Who wants the bar bat? I'm throwing it in the ring for you. Do you guys
want a chain? I'll give you a chain.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? TLC match, baby. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Whatever you want.
I'll go on record and just say before bowl season, I think the Pac-12 is going to have a really good bowl record. And I'm normally not a huge bowl record guy. I don't like judging a conference over the course of the season and how good they are based on how they perform, because you never know what teams' motivations are going to be by the time you actually get to a month after the season in whatever exotic location your bowl game is played in, right?
And who's going to actually be playing on that team?
Right, right, exactly. But that said, I think that this is just a case of, honestly, I think the second best conference in college football getting stuck, because I think other than the SEC, you know, you look at the Big Ten, there's one test for the 2 playoff caliber teams per year, and it's each other. And I think you can do that in the Big 12. No offense to the Big 12 this year, but the big boys in that conference are not nearly as good as we had hoped that they would be. Sure. To me, it's USC, it's Oregon, it's Utah, it's UCLA. And honestly, you can throw Washington in there as 5 teams that are really, really solid, if not good, if not great football teams any given night. So I have my eye on that going forward. I think they got a little unlucky. And if USC does run the table with 1 loss, I think they're left out, but I think it's a little unfortunate at this point because I'd love to see them.
I think they slide in.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they slide in.
It would bump TCU in that spot?
No.
I don't think it would bump TCU. I think it would bump the ACC.
I think the ACC's already bumped.
ACC's
you
bumped.
won't get 2 SECs.
Exact. Yes.
Yeah, you won't get the second SEC. You'll actually get a 4 conference representation.
You think they'd bump Tennessee for a 1-loss USC?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
It's
there
TV,
would be
my man. It's TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
We're
don't think
talking 4
TV? You don't
quads.
think TV wants to see Hendon Hooker get another shot at Georgia?
Do you want to see USC,
LA?
blue blood of blue bloods and LA market it actually be invested in this process? And also remember, Fiesta Bowl is right there as one of the 2 semifinal sites. You get all those Californians
showing up,
converging into Glendale, whereas you don't know with Tennessee, because if you got Tennessee and Georgia, who's going to the Peach Bowl? I'm putting Georgia in the Peach Bowl, right, over Tennessee. So
it's the same market. It's the same. It's just that's the thing.
Guys, I hear all that, but there would be so many problems if they left out a 1-loss Tennessee team
that did not play.
Lost to the undefeated number 1 team in the country.
But
there's no way.
Matter. That's what they've been talking about. That's what the committee's been preaching.
Championship matters.
Championships matters in the all holy CFP Bible.
We're gonna see how much they really matter. I think. I think Tennessee.
I've said this before. I've said this multiple times. I said it about Notre Dame. I said it about Alabama. I said it about Ohio State. If you can put them in, you find a way to put them in. The first playoff, what did they do? Somehow TCU and Baylor are leapfrogged for Ohio State. Why? That's the sell.
Markets.
Notre Dame on the bubble. They don't play that last.
Yeah, but
weekend.
I don't think this year's Tennessee team is comparable to any of those examples you're giving, though, because this, like, stepping broader back, like, who has the media covered most this year? It might be Tennessee. Like, this has been Tennessee's year.
I think, yeah, and they're a fun story and they're super fun to talk about. But if you can get USC into the playoff,
finally as well.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, but it would bump TCU in that spot to me, which would be insane because I don't know how you bump an undefeated team.
You can't bump an undefeated team. Undefeated is not going nowhere. So somebody's got to go.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Will be undefeated.